name is Emanuel Amimu. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a creative, born and bred in Homa Bay County. And this is our premiere episode of Homa Bay Unplugged, the voices from the lake. And with me here is my good friend, my childhood friend. We've grown up together, we've bantered, we've shared a lot of things together. And today is just to have a banter around it. And we'll even give a brief story on like how we met, how we linked up, how we are related, and just all matter creatives. So I hope we'll be able to delve in, to dive in, to have just issues and discussions that really at the core of Homa Bay and just even growing up. So I think we'll just start by introducing yourself, what you do, and how the journey has been so far.
Yes, my name is Teddy Opio Matete. I'm from Homa Bay. I'm a businessman and I'm an entrepreneur. Also, I'm a private contractor. So I think these matters discussed in Homa Bay affects me directly in one way or another. And I'll be glad to share my experience to the platform and with the audience at large to cap on these matters appropriately.
Yeah, so I think even on top of the bit of it, I think one of my best nature growing up was when we were about to do, it was like our primary exams or our secondary exams, when we used to go for like tuition. So we used to go for tuition. We used to have like lecturers and teachers for like holiday studies. And I think that to me was like the most remarkable sessions. And then it was
a bonding time.
Yeah, a bonding time, and also like a life-changing sessions. Because we have kids from different schools across the country meeting in a specific location in Homa Bay, and then just having different lecturers. And then now we share like different ideas on how we need to map our future. To me, that was like the most iconic session. I don't know if there were any takeouts like during that session.
I wasn't bonding those times a lot, but I had a strict father. So having tuition instead of lazing around was a mandatory thing for him.
For us to do.
At the same time, it made me bond with students from different regions. But I still like appreciate, because the friendship we made during that time as the last
it's still there till now. So those are the things that I really appreciate. And then you've also been like connecting, sharing ideas, going back and forth, and then just seeing even the growth curve. What are the most things that you take from your father, and even like growing up? What are those things that
you know I basically lost my father when I was about to do my Form 4. So all I know about my father, I was strict, but in the aspect of now choosing my future, after Form 4, that's when you decided to choose the direction where your life needs to head in terms of choosing career for yourself. So I got affected somehow, but I just decided to do what my father did. I joined account courses. I became an accountant. I also went for BCom courses. And after that is when I realized I didn't have passion in what my father did. The challenge in that was, without having a father, as a child you look up to your dad to a certain extent, where you realize like your path doesn't converge that way.
I get it.
Then I just decided to do my own things. I decided to venture on the engineering side. My passion was more of on engineering side, you see, and business. And I was also an entrepreneur now. I decided to open my own company, do my own things, face challenges as a man up in the process. And you see, unlike a child who has been told what to do, I had to make my own decisions. I had to be affected by whatever was affecting the youths of Homa Bay in terms of entrepreneurship, government policies, taxes, bad politics, water problems, youth's problems.
Yeah, because that's also the main thing. I think we'll delve into that a bit and then go back about the upbringing. And what I really haven't yet even understood, and I'm still trying to grapple with the issues, is like in the Lake region, and then Homa Bay is like the biggest lake in Eastern and Central Africa. And then in Homa Bay County, that's where we have like the biggest portion of the lake.
Do not say
and then
one of the biggest
3/4 of the people. It's the
one
biggest.
of the biggest freshwater lakes in Homa Bay County.
Imagine. Yeah, in the world. Yeah.
And this is one of the largest places with so many beaches and exploited potentials in terms of tourism, in terms of fishing industry,
and the lack of water and
the lake.
Yeah.
And you just find yourself like me living next to the lake, and there's no water in the running in people's houses.
Yeah.
See, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. So you'll ask yourself simple questions like, what really is happening? Is it that the lake has run out of water, or the government is just, with the proper budget the government has put in place?
Yeah.
How is it that there are no water in the house?
Yeah.
And yet there are locations which are budgeted for, approved by the National Assembly, and money is disbursed into the counties.
Yeah.
And yet you're told that things like the county could not pay electricity. You know, when the people choose you as a leader, you are entrusted with the decision making on their behalf. You know, these people pay taxes, which for now, you know, for instance, there were people who were paying 4,000, and after sometimes that money, the new invoice that came now, instead of paying 4,000, you are requested to pay like 40,000. You see that difference?
Yeah.
In the same county you've been living in for the past 13 years since the county government took responsibility, you are asked to pay 40,000 to a county government which is not even able to pay something as basic as electricity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a sad state of affairs that we tend to see. And then it's not even just pointing fingers at not particular county, but it's really like cuts across. Because even yesterday we had like the Nairobi, Narok, Kisii route closed. The community had like a lot of upheavals that they even wanted to meet like their governor to help address the societal issue so that everyone could move. So like guys were stuck in Narok for close to 6 hours just because the community wanted to meet the governor. They've been lobbying, and then they've been addressing issues that really haven't been tackled. And then the majority of the people affected were the youth themselves. Yeah.
And this something funny is these issues are in the governor's manifestos. These are promises made to the people.
Or when guys are being voted in.
We are now 3 years down the line.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we are about 1 year, 4 months shy from general election.
Yeah.
To be precise.
Yeah.
To campaigns.
Yeah.
You see?
So I think those are amongst the issues that we
So when you promise your people that you need your people, you are going to serve your people.
Yeah.
Then along the way, we have proper delegation of duties and responsibility to different parts of the county government. Assembly has got its part of passing the budget.
Yeah.
The governor has got its part of implementing the budget, which has been approved by the assembly. But now you find when that money comes, greed set in. We prioritize greed and corruption more than the actual duty that money is supposed to do, in anticipation that the next coming
will be able
to solve the current problem.
Yeah, because I also think even to provide like a benefit of doubt, it's not really been affecting us, because you have like a lot of recurrent expenditures. A lot. Because even to say, they'll say like, I want to be governor, or you're to be governor. You find that you get into office, then you have like a lot of recurrent expenditure spanning even up to like 20 years.
Yes.
You get into office, you're like, you know what, now what am I supposed to tackle? Am I supposed to deal with the issues now, or to sort the issues of people who are in governance before?
You know when you inherit a government,
Yeah.
You inherit the government
Problems.
its debts,
Yeah.
problems,
Yeah.
responsibilities.
Yeah.
And what makes a perfect leader is
Yeah.
being able to
Yeah.
cut across your budget,
Yeah.
the recurrent budget, and the past dues. Being able to address the current problem with the past problems at the same time.
Yeah.
But when you are a governor, you have these resources, you're scooping them for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like picking sand from the hole.
Yeah.
The smaller doses you pick,
Yeah.
the hole keeps being bigger.
Yeah.
And we don't expect any miracle from anywhere to.
But so if we take it critically, like what specific solutions are there? Let's say like as the youth, because the youth you're saying is like a leadership of tomorrow. We have all these issues that you're tackling, and then we also always have, let's say, like a banter, a place to air our views, a place to things. So what's in it for us as the youth to be able to move and progress forward? Or let's say if you're to be governor today, and then you have 1,001 things and 1,001 issues to deal with, and then you still have to spread it across, and then keeping in mind everyone else will be unsatisfied. Like there'll always be, oh, the roads are made, okay, there's no healthcare, there's no this. Like, how do you tangle and balance to move to move everything across the board if you are governor?
If I'm governor today,
yeah,
I'll always put myself in one of the quotes which Nelson Mandela once stated.
Yeah.
A true leader is one who in celebration stays behind, takes a backseat.
Yeah.
But in times of struggle, he stays in front of
at the forefront,
at the forefront of the battle.
Yeah.
So the major problem we have today in Kenya is leadership. It's no longer integral.
Yeah.
It is something which is bought by businessmen with money.
Yeah.
True leadership is something which you are born with.
Yeah.
It is just knowing the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It is not something we want to assume that it will come naturally. It is us, the people, the voters.
Yeah.
We have to look at an individual we are taking to a particular office, irrespective of whether you have money
or not,
or you don't have money.
Yeah.
And your integrity should speak for you.
Yeah.
Because talking about these solutions of, oh, this person is capable, is going to do us this. No. Kenya is one of the countries which is blessed with education. And up to now, Bwana Mimo, you know, education is free in primary.
Yeah.
And even secondary, the government public secondary enjoys a relief of that free education.
Yeah.
So why would we say why do we say that an informed population, informed students, with right mind cannot be able to know this is a true leader, this is not a true leader?
Yeah.
We just need to choose a leader who is passionate about his town, passionate about his people, who can lay agenda of the people together and stick to the budget, which have been creatively constructed with his members of the county assembly. That budget has been read by professionals, has been put across by different individuals from different levels for it to reach the assembly. It means it communicates directly with the problems on the ground. That's why that budget is able to reach into the assembly in the first place. So we don't need to look for solutions. The solution is on that paper.
We also have the solution. So as we take that,
so
I think
it's leadership.
We'll go for a commercial break and then just stay tuned. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Homa Bay Unplugged, the voices from the heart of the people. Keep it tuned. After the break, we'll just delve in and then dive deeper and then just take us back a bit. We rewind a bit because it started on a high. We'll just rewind it a bit and then just have more discussions. Keep it locked. back again with my awesome guest discussing about issues at the core of Homa Bay. And then, if you didn't know, this is Homa Bay Unplugged, voices from the heart of the lake. The lake is where we have our discussions. It's where it's peaceful, it brings serenity, it brings calmness. But unlike everything, as the youth feel in Homa Bay, they kind of feel a storm within the lake, yes. And then the lake is receding, there's no enough fish, there's no enough water. There are a lot of issues, but the best thing is, this is where we are. This is where we've been brought up. So you just want to make discussions and make issues and banter and just see to have a way paved forward. So previously, before we went for the break, we had discussions about things that relate to the youth and things that we really see as the youth and even as people of Homa Bay that you can be able to address and see for a formidable way forward. But just to take us a bit in terms of your upbringing and then why all these issues are making us really pent up and have a lot of anger. Like being brought up, you are brought up in a family of how many kids? How's your dad? How's your family relationship, your siblings, and all that? And then now we see how all this is tying into the issues that are really making us riled up and really sad and mad about our county.
You know, I was brought up in a family of 9 boys. Wow. And 2 girls, 2 mothers. That was a polygamous family.
Yeah.
And growing up,
9 boys. I
remember my dad had a problem with paying rent, so he decided to get his own to build his own premises.
Yeah.
So and back then I remember a lorry of stones went for about 500 shillings.
Yeah.
And my father would take like 2 shillings, go to the lake, get a very big fish, and bring it home.
Yeah.
So that way we had both our lunch and supper. So there was so much fish in the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even the street children were able to feed themselves from the remains on the nets on the fish. Nowadays, you realize that.
So how did this how did this really affect like your brain? Like you had like 9 boys and like 2 girls, and then were all this from
3 girls.
3 girls, and were they all this from the same mother or from different mothers?
From different mother. Like my mother had about 6 boys and 1 girl.
Ah.
Yes.
And then all the other one had
the 5 children.
Wow. So, those are a lot. Those are more than 9.
Yes, and also we had she had a total of 5 children. My mother had 6 children.
Okay.
So that brought 11.
Yes.
And also there was another relative we were staying. We was brought in our family. That made us 12.
Ah.
She was a complete orphan called Maureen.
Oh, so like it was like the Last Supper kind of situation. Like you had like Jesus and disciples, and then like an entire football team.
The table. We had the table.
That's pretty interesting. So how was life? Like how was like food shared? Because you even see this brings in itself the dynamics of you have dad, you have like 2 families to manage. Those are 2 systems of government, and then you also have these kids to take to school. So and then also the kids themselves, you also have to fend for yourselves amongst all the other things. So how was it like? Can you just trying to bring us in a perfect setup? Because it just feels more like a government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Food was divided on anyone's plate. The assumption that people would eat on the same plate was not possible because bath time was different.
Yeah.
In terms of strength, eating habits.
Yes.
Everybody had his or her own friends. So we were influenced different in terms of characters with our friends.
Yeah.
So you will not assume that eating from the same plate made
Yeah.
us a family. So everybody had to have his own portion to munch in its own pace.
Yo.
So that ensured there was equity.
Yeah.
So if you like eating fast, you eat your food very fast and leave the table.
Yeah.
If you like eating slow, nobody will interfere with you. You just
Yeah.
eat it. But by the end of the day, the people who are in charge of serving the food ensured that everybody had enough.
Yeah.
Reflect that to the leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership, there's an instance where you find governors trying to do everything.
So how was it? How was it?
Irrespective of we have departments.
Yeah. So how was it? Let's say, like from your dad perspective and all things that you are learning, and then even taking to the government, how was he able to manage like the two different homes, and then for the kids to stay in peace and harmony, and also the wives to stay in peace, and also for him to also have the peace of mind to bring.
My father was a funny person. You know, seeing that these were two women from different regions of Kenya.
Yeah.
So he decided to instill some unity among his children.
Yeah.
How did this unity came about? We didn't even know who was the son to who was until when we were 18.
Yeah.
So he ensured that the dining table was one.
Yeah.
All foods cooked from these two different kitchens were brought here and they were being served from the same table.
Yeah.
So maybe if this side they cooked chapati, this side rice, everybody will have a spoon of rice and everybody will have a piece of chapati.
Exactly.
To ensure that we've eaten from both sides. So that brought that unity.
Yeah. Yeah. And then even that though, because the best thing about this discussion is like what you tie in, because we all related, we all have blood, we all have families, our leaders have relatives, and everyone even have all that. Like it's all tied in together. And the best thing about leadership is like when you go back to history and look at their upbringing is really what determines
true leadership.
Yeah, how the leadership would be.
Yes.
Yeah, because you even find like it can be from a point of rejection, or it comes from a point of acceptance. And then these are the true things that really bring about the level of leadership and how one is able to move forward. Because even if you look at Hitler, and then when you look at all these pains, because I'm also passionate about fatherhood, and the real pain of bad leadership when you see it is from upbringing, and the root cause of it is from fatherhood. So if you look at Hitler and then you trying to look at how the fatherhood and upbringing was, that's now you can see, okay,
bad leadership from fatherhood perspective,
fatherhood, dad wounds, they're called dad wounds. Because even you find like the 90% of
child
people,
trauma.
Yes, 90% of people in prisons, the men
are affected by that
extremely
mentality.
Imagine just fatherhood. Yeah, like because even you have like a lot of basic leaders. Even the guy who designed the Beats by Dre, I've forgotten his name, is he was Dre's partner. When you look about they have a series, it's called The Defiant Ones. So they delve into the upbringing of these two different people, how Dre was brought up and how this guy was brought up, totally different homes, but this one always had like a present father.
Yes.
So even his business investments, his business decisions were done from a point of plenty, and he was even able to do much.
Yes.
But on Dre's perspective, because of dad wounds, you're always being, let's say, like it's from a point of hoarding and holding things and not wanting to move forward. And then now from all this, you find that one who had like the present fatherhood and present upbringing, they're able to move up, scale better, and they're even able to, they're like just mentally stable. So even in a nutshell, like upbringing also determines how true sense of leadership was. Because even as you said, everything was divided equally. It didn't matter anyone was from which parenthood and everything.
Yes.
And then that's even as what created
harmony. And you realize what my dad used to do, something he fought so hard with, was ensuring that jealousy was not displayed in front of his children.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And the weakness of a father comes when you were in a polygamous marriage and you've cultivated jealousy in your own family, in the sense that you were pretending that you were able to control your family by cultivating jealousy in this house and jealousy in the other house.
Yeah.
So that jealousy brings the barrier.
Yeah.
And that barrier keeps widening.
Yeah.
It's like from your own flesh and blood.
Yes.
Sides of both families, you've decided to create a big rift. You've created enmity over enmity.
Yeah.
From your own blood.
Yeah.
So, as a father, for you not to fail,
Yeah.
is ensure a zero jealousy.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah.
And even if you look at that perspective, let's say now the governor is the father.
Yeah.
For proper management, ensure zero jealousy in departmental spending. Be realistic about whichever any department is doing. Give them appropriately. Delegate. Don't do everything.
Yeah. And then you cut across, because what you're discussing is not about like a particular governor or a particular someone. It's just about like just
all
a figure of, just a figure of speech.
Yes.
Because you have governors, you have MPs, you have MCAs, you have like the women
any
rep.
leader. Let's generalize.
Even in your business, you also have like a perspective. You are a governor in your business. Yes. So it's just cuts across, and then it just brings the issues of how are we as leaders? Because we're leadership in every way, and all these things you are suffering. Because we will go and we complain we're talking about governor. Then we go to the market, we just find someone who has such this big hotel. Instead of just trashing his things in a legal way, he just puts it maybe palivo kwa jirani. You find someone, they have like a club next to a school. They just play extremely loud music, and
just because the people who are you live and find that the person running the club is related to maybe somebody is supposed to be enforcing the law, who is the police head somewhere, or who is related to a governor who is in charge of licensing somewhere. You see things like that. Those are things which are driven by greed. Competitiveness. Because
even remember, like the other day, you're walking like around the lake, and then there were some people. I think maybe they are trying to put up a building and stuff, just disposing of the materials the right way, and then we know our lake is our form of resource.
Somebody is building and then dumping it inside the lake.
And then this lake,
and this is the breeding ground for fish,
and for a livelihood.
And this person, this project you are told is a government project. Which government does that?
Yeah. So there are a lot of things that we really need to bring to play, and also we need to bring into discussion and just see how can we be able to build these things and rile it up. Not pointing fingers, but how can we be able to come collectively? You see, because as you've said, it's not like a one person.
The right question. The right question is, for you to sprout something.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus, I don't know which book, but I was a CRE student.
Yes.
And I got an A in CRE.
Yeah.
There was this story of a mustard seed.
Yes.
Very small tree seed.
Yeah.
But it grows into a very huge tree.
Yes, it's able to produce.
So anytime I look at that statement,
yeah,
it begins with the mustard seed. So who is the mustard seed in the world, in the county today?
Yeah.
You individually. It has to begin with you, your own self-management.
Yeah.
Then you start affecting the people
around you,
infecting and affecting the people around you with your good deeds. So eventually will have a community of positively affected people.
Individuals, yes. Yeah.
Which will be further affecting others. So it's something which has to grow.
Yeah.
And growth takes time, and you cannot. There's always this thing. You can take a cow into the river, but you cannot force it
to drink
water. Yeah. So the cow has to emulate you. You know.
Yes.
It has to know.
Yeah.
That after eating, we need to go to the river and drink water. In case I fail to drink water when I go back to sleep, it will be impossible for me to digest my food.
Yeah.
So automatically, after it has learned from its previous mistake,
yes,
it will eventually drink water by itself.
Yeah.
That is how you inflict leadership in people.
Yeah.
You have to begin with you. You have to choose the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And you have to be an example of how you want to be treated, because anyway, anyhow, how you're treated is all reflection of how you are treating others.
Yes. Yeah.
If you are treated badly, automatically you should take that in a positive light, like that you are mistreating people.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty interesting on perspective onto leadership. That you see, leadership is not about delegating or doing things or what you see or the solutions that you need to see other people do, but what we want to see in ourselves individually, because growth starts from within. Like if you're responsible, you wake up, you're even unable to spread your bed, you have your food and then you just leave it on the table, you walk away, you eat food and then you trash it, and then you talk and point fingers about bad governance. You see, like even bad governance starts with you, because it's the root evil. Because in a few years, in a few days, in a few times, the people that you're pointing fingers at are the same people that you will be in that solution, in that position. So
the same people you're pointing fingers at, one of them will be the next leader tomorrow.
Yes. So it's a collective against a collective issues. And then the things that you can be able to do as ourselves, as individuals, and reflect it across in the society will be able to bring us up together. And also, not even sitting quiet and just being content with what we have, but to just bring all these conversations, because conversations are what help build and also help us to move forward. Yes. So the more we have this discussion, the more we have like different perspectives, different ideologies about life, that's when you are able to move ahead.
Yes.
The moment you're even able to accept critics, yes, and people who point fingers and people who call us out, yes, that's how you're able to grow. Imagine even in the Bible,
we are able to know,
yes,
learn from our mistakes, yes, and grow.
Imagine from the Bible, Jesus was able to call his wonderful disciples Satan. Imagine, was it Peter was rebuked like, you get behind me, Satan. Like it was just a call out, like, you guy, these things that you're doing, I don't like it. Get behind me. If it were another person, they'll be like, man, I'm your friend. We've grown up together. We've trained people. We've mentored churches. How dare you call me the devil, yes, that we advocate for?
Yes.
Yeah. Like even like when you look at the Bible, like the story of Peter and Jesus, even the relationship, and how many times he was rebuked. If you're another normal person, it could have been, crazier. And then even as you continue, you can bring in like other ideas, and then also as you move and even as you wind up the show, and even look for the way forward. Yeah.
When Jesus was addressing Satan and Peter, he was actually not addressing Peter. He was addressing the spirit
in Peter.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The same applies with when he was healing somebody who was brought, I think, from the roof.
Yeah.
He told that person first that his sins, yeah, have been forgiven.
Yeah.
Then the teachers of the law said, who is this person who forgives sin? And Jesus asked them, is it easy to tell somebody get up and walk, or tell somebody
your sins are forgiven?
Sins are forgiven. Yeah. Because Jesus was healing the soul of this person. He just knew the body was a vessel whereby it dies.
Yeah.
What was more important was the soul. So we have to advocate to things beyond our body. This is just a bag of flesh and bones.
Yeah.
When it comes to leadership, we just have to know that this body we have has an expiry date.
Yes.
When I grew up in this town, growing up in this town, there was euphoria. Do you remember there was euphoria? There was not even tarmac road in this town.
Yeah.
There was euphoria in between roads.
Yeah.
When it rained, you could not even make it from here to Mbita. You will take a whole day. Nowadays, it's about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you are in Mbita.
Yeah.
So it's because somebody had a vision.
Yeah.
And that vision was bigger than him individually. That is, sorry to say, may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Tieno Kajwan.
Yeah.
He decided He didn't know he would die.
Yeah.
That road had to be paved.
Yeah. So as
Today we are
leaders,
enjoying that road while
yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah. So as leadership and even as the youth, what would be like our parting shot? Keeping to mind that this is Homa Bay Unplugged, the voices from the heart of the lake. What will be like our take home? What do you want our audience to take home? What do you want us as individuals to take home? What do you want us as people of Homa Bay to take home and be able to keep and move these conversations forward?
You have to remember that true leadership is not bought. And you have to remember that whenever you're choosing a leader to serve you, you're choosing somebody who is going to make a decision in your life for 5 years.
Yeah.
And that 5 years is maybe a child you have today, tomorrow will be in grade 2.
Yeah, or in the next phase of life, yeah.
Yes.
They're older, yeah.
So when you choose a bad leader for 10 years, you've wasted 10 productive years making a bad choice in the lives of you and your generation to come.
Yeah, that's true. And also now as an individual now, as the youth of Homa Bay,
it's important we come back to our roots and we never forget where we started from. We should cherish the brilliance and the bounty the lake provided us with. The municipality and other local governments back then provided us with the solution and the possibilities of changes which the current government can bring into our lives, and ensure in within us that we choose people that are able to impact on these dreams appropriately.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank
Our
you.
parting shot?
We'll meet again, my brother.
Just even a word of encouragement to the youth, something powerful, something innovative.
Continue fighting for yourself, continue fighting for your rights, continue being the best advocate of your today, because this life is one thing we only live once, and there's no backup of whatever comes after.
Yo, such a wonderful way to conclude our premiere episode of Homa Bay Unplugged. Voices from the heart of the lake. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to like, post, share, subscribe, give your views, give your comment, give your reviews. If there are any other guest members that you want to have on the show, or even if you want to be part of the show, just feel free to tune in. You can also offer support, love, and everything nice. And let's keep these conversations going. Let's keep these things, because it doesn't end here. It continues and it will grow. So this is to me, from you. I'm Emanuela Mimo, the host for Homa Bay Unplugged, the voices from the heart of Homa Bay. And thanks a lot, Ted, for coming and gracing us in a rush, because it was just a last minute call and he was able to make it. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. We're hoping for more exciting and amazing episodes. Peace. Ish. Yo.